Good to go, Mark? First of all, thank you for everyone coming out for this press conference. You ladies want to come up here? First of all, I'd like to thank the Sugar House Casino for hosting this event. This is about our 7th event here at the Sugar House Casino, and it's always a great venue, very intimate, gets very loud, and great fights. That's most important. So we're looking forward to a great night of fights on Friday evening. We have some very intriguing matchups. Not very often do you see club level fights where you have undefeated individuals fighting each other. And so I'm excited about that as a promoter, of course, because I love to make the fans happy, because those are the ones who allow us to continue coming back and making it possible for the fighters to continue to fight and earn a living. I'd like to thank a few sponsors that I have as well. Iron Age Power Wear, Coca Cardiology, City Hydration, and Edward Flipponi and Associates. Without sponsors, sometimes we can't even make this happen as well. They help offset some of the things that we do here, and so it makes it better for a great evening of boxing. Now down to what you guys really want to hear about. You guys don't want to hear about the Sugar House or sponsors. You want to hear about the fighters, right? Am I right? You want to hear about the fighters, right? So it's been this has probably been my longest layoff. Last show we did here was May 11th. And I haven't done anything since May 11th, so it's been a long layoff, and I'm excited to be back. Sort of gives me a little bit more excitement once again, because it's almost like I took a vacation, and it was a long vacation at that. But I'm back, and we're doing a great show, and I'm excited about these fights. And I'm going to start with our main event. I've been trying to put together a good local main event, and the guy right here from Philadelphia, and he's been bugging me since his first upset, and he wants to fight so bad, and I said, all right, we're going to make it happen. And not only are we making it happen, we're making it happen for small regional title, for the WBF regional title, silver belt. And so we're going to have a very intriguing matchup. And we have Ty Crawley from Philadelphia, who's right here to my right. And we have Ricardo Garcia right here to the left, who's from the Dominican Republic, and who's now fighting out of Reading, Pennsylvania. And so it's going to be a very good matchup, and I think we're going to see some good fights. And I know that I've talked to Ty a number of times. He says he's ready. He's been, I dropped him off some tickets. He's been running the sprints. He's doing his job, and I'm going to let him tell you that. But before I get to bringing Ty up, I got to bring his opponent up, all the way from the Dominican Republic, Ricardo Garcia. Let's get it up for Ricardo. Thank you, Ricardo.
Muy buenas tardes a todos. Quiero dar las gracias a todos los que están aquí presentes. Quiero decirle que el próximo viernes estaremos dando una buena presentación, una cartelera de boxeo muy buena, donde de mi parte yo haré todo lo que sé para conseguir la victoria. Y estoy muy bien preparado para lograr esto.
So he said, hello, thank you everybody for coming here. And he says that he's prepared very well for this weekend, for a victory, and that's pretty much all he said. So he said, thank you guys for coming.
Now to Mr. Ty Crawley Jr. Ty, come on up for a few words.
What's going on, everybody? My last Marshall, get me back on as soon as possible. Friday, I'm ready. I'm already on weight right now. We're waiting right now, and I'll be ready. So I'm just here to go. That's all I really gotta say. Friday, I'm looking forward to winning that belt. Been a long road. I had a lot of ups and downs as far as my career. Friday to be the main event, fighting for a belt. Really couldn't ask for anything more. So I appreciate Marshall and King Promotion making me the main event. And that's it. Thank you for all my fans, my cousin Dustin, my manager Mike, or Jason, and my coach Jenny right there, and everybody else, man. So any questions, I'll be ready to answer.
I thought you won every round up until, when you stopped the fight.
Yeah, I was. That was a mistake that I never make again. I went into the fight hurt. I was lying to my pop the whole time, but that's what fighters do. We fight. I was advised not to, but I did, and I gave it everything I had, so it was it. But yeah, I thought I was winning the fight pretty easy too. But on to the next one, Friday night.
Has your father shown you any tricks or anything, or?
Yeah, I think we got all the tricks we're going to get down. It's fun in my career. Any questions? That's it? Cool, thank you.
We originally were trying to make Ty Crawley and Jerome Conquest, which would have been a great Philly fight. And of course, unfortunately, Jerome Conquest suffered an injury toward his Achilles tendon. So if Ty comes out victorious on Friday night, that fight will be in the future. And I think it's a great Philly battle, and I think both guys were looking forward to it. So that would be something that we will be working on as long as he's victorious on Friday night. And I think Ricardo might have something to say about that, and making sure he puts a stop to that. Second fight is always going to be action. We got Ice Cold Brooker, Christopher Ice Cold Brooker, fighting on the card. He's always action-packed. Ice always brings it. He's full of heart, determination, and one thing you never see with Ice is a bad fight. Ice is always in a good fight, no matter who he fights, no matter what level opposition it is. Ice comes to fight, and so he's a little bit more rejuvenated. He's training with Zaire, and so I think he's working on some different fundamentals of his game, and so it's going to be a very good fight. And when I was trying to find somebody for Ice, I looked a couple different avenues, and a couple of the guys turned it down. And then someone reached out to me about this kid Eric Moon, and I was like, all right, let me look at it. Talked to Ice, talked to Zaire, talked to Ice's manager, and they're like, yeah, we want the fight. So, and I like the fight because this kid can fight. So, one thing that a promoter always loves is when you can put on a great fight. And so, I'm looking forward to this fight. It's going to be very exciting. And when I say very exciting, you watch. It might be the best fight of the night, okay? So, I think all those fights are just going to be that way, from top to bottom. So, before moving forward, I'd like to introduce the man that came all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Eric Moon.
Hey, hi everybody doing?
How you doing?
I'm glad y'all came out to show support. I want to give thanks to King's Promotion. I don't really have too much to say, but our account, we ready. I want to thank them for the opportunity for having us out there, Mr. Kaufman, and that's it. And I'll see you guys Friday night.
Now, you last fought in what, November?
Right.
Last time? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you know the Biggs, Tyrone Biggs' brother down there in Georgia, or Ebo Elmer, one of those guys?
Yeah, I know him.
That's
I know him.
good.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, now for Mr. Ice.
Just like my opponent, I don't really got too much to say. Just here to put on a good show for y'all. Marshall hit it right on the nose. Back was out here Justice at Fast Lane Boxing. Feeling great. Been in camp weeks after I won my belt. So I'm just working hard. I appreciate my opponent coming out, training hard, and I hope we can put on a good show for you.
Well, you always give us a good show. You
Yes,
always
sir.
do. You always come. The amateurs and the pros.
Yes, sir.
That's good. Wish you luck.
I'm just trying to stay ready for y'all. Yes, sir. Any questions? Concerns? None? See y'all fighting.
There are still a few tickets left. Box office has a few tickets left, but if you don't get them now, come Friday night, they might be gone. So get them quick while you can. Also, I talked about earlier, I have some very intriguing matchups here. I got some undefeated guys going up against each other. And not often do you see people step up to that test. But there's a young man from Reading, PA, who's not here right now, who trains in Philly with Rasheem Jefferson. His name is Joseph Ortiz, and he was willing to step up to the test to fight this young man from Philly, Javier Cuendo. So when you have two undefeated guys who are willing to take and put that undefeated record on the line so early in their career, it says a lot about their confidence and also about their team, be willing to step up and take that challenge. So, as I said, Joseph Ortiz isn't here, but I would like to introduce Javier Cuendo, 3-0.
Good evening, everybody. I'm just here. Glad to be here. Ready to get this fight started. I'm ready to talk. So,
Are you living in Harrisburg now? The 3 fights have been in Harrisburg, right?
no, I always lived in Philly.
You live in Philly? Okay. All right, good luck.
Yeah. I don't know. Friday night come. Always a great fight. Always put up a great show. And I'm positive of myself. I'm gonna come out winning. That's always me.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Like I said, he's 3-0 and he's going up against Joseph Ortiz, who's 4-0. So like I said, you don't often see that on cards at this level. But they were willing to step up and take the challenge, so it says a lot. We also have 2 more individuals who are fighting undefeated boxers. We have right here from Philadelphia, Poindexter Knight, who is 4-0, and he's going up against another individual who's 4-0 named Anthony Young. And so, once again, when you see young individuals of that caliber taking on fights against another undefeated individual, it says a lot about that person and their team. So that's going to be a very good fight as well. So I'm looking forward to that. There's a number of fights. There's 10 fights on the card. Starting with, we have a heavyweight that's opening up the card. He's not here right now. They'll be here tomorrow. A kid named Jose Nunez from Reading, PA, going up against a kid named, I shouldn't say a kid, he's a grown man, but Nicoy Clark from New York. Nicoy Clark's 1-1. Nunez is making his pro debut, and the kid got hammers in his hand. This kid can punch, so I'm looking forward to that fight. And I know Nicoy Clark personally. He's been he was in with the tough individual Michael Coffey and went the distance with him and gave him all he can handle. So Nicoy Clark is nothing to sleep on. So I'm looking forward to the heavyweight match up there. They're both smaller heavyweights, about 6 foot, 5'11" each, but they both pack thunder. So I'm looking forward to that. Then we have a couple other young individuals on the card that are making their pro debut. We have Rasheem Brown from Shooter's Gym. Rasheem was a Golden Gloves winner. He's taking on a fight tomorrow on Friday night against a kid from Florida named Sergio Aguilar. And so Rasheem, I'm excited to see what he's excited to make his pro debut. He had a long amateur career, and so that's going to be a very good matchup. And then we have another pro debut all the way from Dominican Republic, Yuri Andujar, to the far left, right there next to Mr. Oquendo, and he's taking on Brian Perez. And that's going to be a very good one. Brian Perez is, some of you may have seen him before, he always comes to put on a great fight. There's no backing down from Brian Perez. Last time he fought the kid, Romeo Cruz, and gave him all he could handle. Ended up losing the decision, but he comes to fight. And so before I move on, I'd like to introduce Yuri Andujar. Thank you.
alcalde, que Dios le bendiga a todos.
God bless everyone.
Tengo para decirle que nosotros venimos a dar una cartelera buena para que usted disfrute de todo.
He says that he wants to tell you, everybody, that he's here to put on a hell of a card, and everybody's going to enjoy it.
Que Dios le bendiga.
And God bless you all.
Can I ask where you're from?
¿De dónde?
Vengo de Santo Domingo.
Oh, San Domingo, okay.
Yeah.
Had a big riot down there in recent shows. You know that? Like 15 people got hurt.
Yeah, we only
Every time that guy loses, there's a riot.
Ah, sí, sí. Se pelea mucho, se pelea mucho.
Just wait.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Okay, now, as we continue, there's another kid making his pro debut. This kid was and once again, I'm saying kid because they're a kid compared to me, but this kid was a U.S. Olympian, fought for the United States and USA Boxing, and he did very well. And I'm excited that he's having his pro debut on my card, you know, and not very often do you get that chance. I had Terrence Coughlin, when he made his pro debut, fight on my card as well. So, you know, that brings some excitement when you see fighters who make that transition from the amateurs to the pro, and then they get to fight on your card as well, to see what they do with that. So, with that being said, I'd like to introduce Paul Crawley.
How y'all doing? I'd like to thank Marshall for getting me on this card. So I can have my pro debut in Philly. Most of all, my coach, my dad, Zai, for helping me get ready. I don't think I know about my opponent really, his name, but I know come Friday night he's gonna be some I'm just ready to put on the show.
He said he don't know much about his opponent, but we just found him. D'Angelo Alcorn, come on up.
What's going on, everybody? Basically, came a long way training, been boxing about a year and a half. I lost my first fight due to, I guess, shit, I wanted to try to get some money out of me. Guess he didn't know, I guess he thought that was the end. That's why I'm here now. Show everybody what I'm made of. So, anybody got any questions?
You're from Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Your last fight was in July? Is that when you had?
Last year, yeah.
Okay. Was it out there or?
It was out there in Search. That's where I stayed.
You didn't vote for Bill Clinton, did you?
Bill Clinton. I don't vote for nobody.
Good luck.
All right, since we were on the 4-rounders there for a bit, I'd like to introduce McCoy Clark, who just walked in the room. Come on up, McCoy, say a few words. All the way from New York.
Yes, peace and blessing, everyone. How you guys doing today? So it's a pleasure to be here. Since I've been with King's Promotion, they've been taking good care of me, and I appreciate it. I'm originally from the islands, Jamaica, and I've been in the States since, 92? Grew up in the Bronx, and moved to Jersey City in 99. So I represent Jersey City right now, and in the amateurs, I've been the final 6-time, won 2 golden gloves, 1 diamond gloves. And as a pro, I became a pro, I would say about probably 2-3 years ago. But this year was my first year fighting, because you know I did some kind of business side of things, fight getting canceled. So my first official fight was this year with King's Promotion, and it was a blessing. It was a tough one. The guy was almost 70 pounds heavier than me. He was about 6'5". I tell people I'm 5'10", but I'm like 5'8". But I'll take 5'10". But it was a fight to the end. And the beautiful thing about that fight is that I tell people that before me and after me, he's gonna knock everybody out. Because before me, everybody else, he knocked out in the first round. And after me, he knocked the guy out again in the first round. But with me, it went decision. So for me, it was a fight just to let Mr. Kaufman know I'm here to stay. And the second fight, it was my turn to give the beating. So I gave the guy beating the second fight. So it's my third one. They said the 3 fights is a charm. I'm ready for my charm. I'm here to stay. And Friday night, you guys will know who is Nicole Zilla Clark, AKA the teacher, AKA Bang Bang City. Any questions?
Did you have any fights when you were in Jamaica, or did you wait till you got to New York?
Street fights.
Street fights.
So I don't know if y'all want to get some street fights, the stabbings. Yeah, Jamaica was rough coming up because I had a knife put to my throat. I got stabbed twice. And you know, it's some people call it third world country, you know, because in some areas the poverty is that bad. So you have to really not survive. So Jamaica taught me a lot how to survive. And then when I came to the Bronx, it wasn't even easier because, you know, I came in the 90s, and if you guys know the story about the Bronx in the 90s, it was tough also. Just like any city in Philly, you know, we come from certain inner cities, you know how it is. So in the Bronx, I remember getting surrounded by, I'm not gonna say what gang it was, but it was a gang that surrounded me and my boy like 30 deep. And I remember one of them grabbed his gun and said, yo, we're gonna body something right now. And all I said in my mind was, Jesus. I was like, Lord Jesus. You know, because, you know how that goes, though, but I'm here, and, you know, by the grace of God, you know, Friday night, I'm looking for the next victory. Thank you, guys.
That's going to be an exciting heavyweight fight, all right? I think I went through everybody except for my one and only, who's, you know, I sort of have I have so much love for this young man because of what he deals with outside of life. We all have different challenges in life, but this young man is special to me. And I know he's special to a lot of other people, and he's engaged now to get married. So I'm going to introduce him, all right? Mr. Rasheed Johnson.
How y'all doing, everybody? Just want to thank God for being here. Thank Marshall and Team Vivid. You know, ready to go on Friday night. Training real hard, and you know, just ready.
And you're out of Little Grove, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. And your last fight was a split decision. Was it question? I didn't see the fight. Was it a questionable decision, or?
You gotta see the fight. Let me know.
Right. I didn't see it.
Yeah, you gotta see it. Let me know. I mean,
Right.
everybody got their own opinion.
Should have been there, not at the other fight.
Yeah. Any other
Good luck
questions?
in your fight.
Thank you.
All right. Where do you train out of, if I can ask?
Delco.
Okay.
Boston, Glenwood.
Oh, good.
That's it. Well, thank you, everybody. See y'all Friday night.
He is 3-2, and he's going up against a kid from Florida who's 4-1, named Tony Morris. So once again, stepping up to the challenge.
Is Jerry the Bull Martin's son still on the card?
Who?
James Martin?
Yes,
Okay.
James Martin's on the card.
Jerry the Bull Martin's son?
Okay, against a kid from Baltimore, Maryland.
Jonathan Burns.
Okay, Jonathan Burns. All right. So what we're going to do is have all the guys come up to the stage, take photographs, and if you have any personal questions, you can pull them to the side for that. But it's going to be an exciting fight card come Friday night. All right? Come on, guys. Time for weigh-in tomorrow, Mark. Weigh-in tomorrow is at 5 p.m. right here. Angela, you good? Well, Tyrone, we need to talk. I thought you saw.
Okay.
Hey, Deke. Deke.
I need Tyrone and Ricardo.
Damien.
Tyrone and Ricardo. You know what? Come down here. I gotta get this.
Face off. Face off.
I got Chris, where's Moon? Eric Moon.
Let's go.
Take off them glasses.
One second.
Quítate los lentes.
You good, Ken?
Sorry.
No, we'll get up here. We'll get up here. All right. Chris. Here. You, Chris, here, and Eric over here. What, I have to step
Thank you.